the late 1960s, California became the hunting ground of a killer who called himself the Zodiac. He taunted police, terrified the public, and left behind one of the darkest unsolved mysteries in American history. It began on December 20th, 1968. Teenagers, Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday, were parked along a quiet lover's lane near Vallejo, California. A man approached their car and opened fire. Both were killed instantly. 7 months later, another couple, Darlene Ferrin and Mike Mago, were ambushed while sitting in their car. Darlene was killed, but Mike survived, giving police their first description of the killer: a heavy-set man, wearing glasses. The Zodiac struck again at Lake Berryessa in September 1969. This time, he wore a black hooded costume marked with his crosshair symbol. He bound and stabbed Cecilia Shepard and Brian Hartnell. Cecilia died. Brian lived to tell the tale. Just weeks later, in San Francisco, cab driver Paul Stein was shot point-blank in the head. Witnesses saw the killer calmly wipe fingerprints from the cab before walking away. Days later, police received a chilling letter and a piece of Stein's bloody shirt. Police quickly realized this was no ordinary killer. After each crime, letters began arriving at local newspapers. They contained details only the murderer could know, along with strange coded ciphers made of symbols and cryptic signs. In one, the Zodiac declared his pleasure in killing, claiming his victims would serve him as slaves in the afterlife. His arrogance was unmatched. He even called the police after one attack, introducing himself with the now infamous line, "This is the Zodiac speaking." Authorities from local police to the FBI launched one of the largest manhunts in US history. They analyzed handwriting, fingerprints, and even saliva from the envelopes. But every lead eventually went cold. Over the years, more than 2,500 people were investigated. The most notorious suspect was Arthur Lee Allen, a troubled man whose behavior and proximity to the crimes made him a prime target. But handwriting samples and DNA comparisons failed to connect him definitively to the Zodiac. Others emerged: former servicemen, drifters, and even individuals identified through amateur sleuthing and online theories. But each potential breakthrough crumbled under scrutiny. Even the Zodiac's own puzzles offered little help. One cipher remained unsolved for over 50 years, until it was finally cracked in 2020. The result? Another taunt from the killer, offering no clues to his identity. Despite decades of effort, the Zodiac Killer was never caught. Was he an expert criminal who slipped through every trap, or simply an ordinary man who got lucky? Did he die without ever revealing his secret, or is he still alive, blending into society, watching as his legend grows? More than half a century later, the Zodiac remains a ghost. His ciphers, his letters, and his crimes are remembered not just for the terror they caused, but for the haunting truth that no one ever brought him to justice. If you enjoyed this video, like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel for more interesting unsolved mysteries cases.